Hello, everyone. This is the first episode of the first season of a new show I'm making called Examined. Examined looks at video games, TV shows, movies, and more, and tries to figure out what happened to either failed projects or projects that had potential but went nowhere, or things that were canceled later on. This first episode and first season is based on a video game called Monday Night Combat. And other episodes will focus on TV shows more. Because there's more that I want to examine with a television show, and more opportunities to talk to people with it. They're going to be about 3 to 4 episodes in length each. The last episode of this season will be the interview episode, where I talk with people who are in the community or developers, and the main reason that's the last one is because that one requires a lot more work and a lot more people and a lot more scheduling. That'll be the last one of this one. Other things will come out in between. There's 2 more episodes in between that, so I've got time. I can talk to people. Now, onto the video. Welcome to Monday Night Combat, Examined. Now, the Examined series will take a look at games, movies, and TV shows that may have failed or may have had, issues in between development or design. And it will include some of my biases, and I will fully admit I'm a little bit biased on this subject especially. But I'm going to try to be as fair as possible while also highlighting whenever I decide to use my own perspective into things. Monday Night Combat was a third-person shooter with MOBA-like elements that was released on August 11th, 2010 on the Xbox 360 during the Summer of Arcade promotion. A promotion that originally had ran from 2008 to 2013 and is being revived under the name The Summer Spotlight this year, actually. And the Summer of Arcade also had amazing games such as Shadow Complex, Limbo, Bastion, Trials HD, and, well, some others we don't talk about. That's kind of delisted now, actually. But the 2010 Summer of Arcade had great games. Limbo, a new Castlevania game, and another game we're going to talk about today. Monday Night Combat. This season will cover the game itself, what it took to make Monday Night Combat in its released form, and what the devs and fans have been up to in the last 7+ years since the launch of Monday Night Combat. Uber Entertainment started with 6 developers in a 2-bedroom apartment, which eventually led into the final product of Monday Night Combat that ended up with 16 developers, at least as far as I can find. Bob Berry, at the time working at Gas Powered Games, creators of Dungeon Siege, wanted to work on something different after making a game called Demigod, a MOBA that was well loved by its fans. Bob and the other developers, including John Combs and Jonathan Mavor, asked themselves one question: what if we jammed a shooter into a MOBA? For the first year or so, the game, at the time named Hostile, was being made using white box testing to get a good handle on the gameplay, the flow, the placement of the camera and the third-person elements, and layouts of the map. After a while, Uber Entertainment decided to settle on the sport of the future concept, as seen in films such as The Running Man, and to a lesser extent The Hunger Games, while also mixing in professional sports and football. As they kept whiteboxing and testing the game, the money started to dry up. Max credit cards and overdrawn bank accounts. Would they need to go to a venture capitalist, or try for a smaller publisher deal? As they toiled on and on to try to get a publisher, they were denied again and again. Then suddenly, the saving grace came to Uber's rescue. Intel swooped in and saved Uber Entertainment from failure. Intel, working on a graphics chip named Larrabee, a rival to the cell processor most notably used on PlayStation 3, was in development at the time. And they needed a showcase. Uber and Intel, they worked on a deal. Intel got a game to show off for the Larrabee project, and Uber had a sponsor to help finish funding of the game. The deal hinged on them working on ray tracing. Now, I'm going to link a description of ray tracing in the description because I'm trying to short on time here. But this deal gave Uber a ton of cash to finish funding this game, and keep control of the intellectual property. With $500,000, what could really go wrong? Well, the cancellation of the Larrabee project, that didn't help. Intel had canceled the Larrabee project as a standalone discrete graphics product about a year prior to Monday Night Combat's launch on the Xbox 360. So, Uber set their sights on the next big target, Xbox, and its parent company, Microsoft. Why Microsoft? Well, there's two reasons. Number one, the Summer of Arcade promotion. During the first Summer of Arcade, games such as Braid and Castle Crashers did amazingly well for independent games. And in fact, brought them on the spot. And every year it got bigger and bigger. And Uber knew that Monday Night Combat would be a perfect fit for it. And number two, every single person on the team had a 360. But not a single one of them had a PlayStation 3. So, they tried to get Microsoft to publish, to no avail. Mostly because the game wasn't fully finished. It still was being white-boxed. There was no description of the game. The game itself is very vibrant. If you look at multiple games that are white-boxed, it does not look like Monday Night Combat. So, Uber bunkered down and decided they would make a visualization trailer and show Microsoft what the game would look like. Trailers, in-game advertisements, fans that would be in the stands, and stands themselves, filled the world out for Microsoft. And it clicked. Late 2009, Microsoft picked up the rights to Monday Night Combat, and Uber was hard at work at the game we know today. PAX East was a place that Monday Night Combat, and Uber Entertainment as a whole, came into the public spotlight. One of the creators of Penny Arcade actually mentioned Monday Night Combat during his expo, and that gave people interest. There were lines and lines for a demo, and Uber saw that it was a good sign. People wanted Monday Night Combat, but after PAX, there was some trouble. Uber had assumed that, in signing the deal with Microsoft, they pretty much had a lock for Summer of Arcade 2010. And in March, Microsoft told Uber that they weren't locked in for it. They weren't picked for Summer of Arcade. 2010 was an insane year for gaming. Call of Duty Black Ops, Halo Reach, Red Dead Redemption, Mass Effect 2, Dead Rising 2, Fallout New Vegas, Battlefield Bad Company 2. There are so many good games that came out that year. It's insane. Uber knew that no matter how good Monday Night Combat would be, it'd get lost in the shuffle. So that's why they wanted Summer of Arcade to be the big launching point for Monday Night Combat. So Uber tried to at least push the game before that, to July 19th. But Microsoft refused. Uber got in contact with other publishers such as Warner Brothers, EA, THQ, and more. Got some offers, most notably Electronic Arts, who planned on releasing the game on July 19th with a full marketing blitz. Uber then told Microsoft either get us a Summer of Arcade or we walk. Well, in the end it happened. Summer of Arcade 2010 brought with it great games such as Monday Night Combat. Monday Night Combat did really well on the 360, with the current total entries on the leaderboard being 361,529. Now, understandably, that also would include people possibly split screening or game sharing, but let's just say 300,000. Let's say 300,000 copies, which is pretty good, with PC being around 100,000 some odd as far as I can tell. Now, Monday Night Combat was promised 3 downloadable content packs over time, and multiple patches. Spunky Cola Special was the first downloadable content for Monday Night Combat, released on December 1st, 2010, and included great close-range maps including Spunky Cola Arena, which is a multiplayer map, and a Blitz map for the new mode Super Sudden Death Blitz, the Survivatol Arena. It included a pickup called Churros, which gave you sudden skill and health recovery, and some fan-requested content including private match settings, a system that's similar to the Call of Duty Prestige mode, and more progression content. The next update, however, was something very different. A PC version of the game was launched on January 24th, 2011, and that was the next big update. The PC copy had a couple of big crossovers, one of them being with Team Fortress 2. Included content that you got in Team Fortress 2 and Team Fortress 2 content you got in Monday Night Combat. And Penny Arcade, including the Fruit Fucker. Yeah, the game mostly sold due to Team Fortress 2 items. How can I tell that? Well, this achievement right here is for playing the tutorial. The game forces you to play the tutorial when you first get the game. 39% of people that bought Monday Night Combat on PC, it was mainly bought for one thing, Team Fortress 2 items. Those items since discontinued. I sold my stuff mostly because I don't play Team Fortress 2 anymore, so yeah. Now, DLC 2 was close behind, with Uncle Tully's Funland, out of a showing at PAX East and right onto PC on April 22nd, 2011. A brand new map, Uncle Tully's Funland, a mid-game boss named Chicky Cantor, and more Mickey Cantor quotes. And that's it. DLC 3 never came. Yeah, never to PC version, never to Xbox. Yeah, DLC 3 never came. which is kind of sad. And DLC 2 never launched on the main base of players, which was Xbox, including the patches. Well, money and Microsoft's former history with patches and the cost of patches. Microsoft used to charge tens of thousands of dollars to patch games. The developers would be charged this all the time. But as of 2013, prior to the reveal of the Xbox One, they nixed that policy. So, did DLC 2 come later? No. Not at all. In fact, I now bring you to the next chapter of Monday Night Combat. Super Monday Night Combat was announced on August 24th, 2011, in a big cock tease to fans who assumed that this was an engine update to the original Monday Night Combat. However, the fans didn't get that. Instead, we have a free-to-play shooter, which took aspects of the original Monday Night Combat and then put even more MOBA elements into it. After an early release on April 17, 2012, and a full release a day later, Super Monday Night Combat was launched on Steam and, well, critics reviewed the game and gave it a 76 on Metacritic. A good score for a free-to-play game. So everything's okay, right? Well, not so much. I've been holding back on you when it comes to Super Monday Night Combat. The user reviews. However, that will be talked about in episode 2. Up next on Monday Night Combat, Examined. Patches dry up, Kickstarters form, and mistakes are made. And later on in the series, virtual reality, fans losing hope, and replacements. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, talk about the history you've had with this series and the developers and even other games similar to it. And don't forget to click the notification bell for more episodes, and follow me on Twitter. Have a great day. Oh, and total props to freelance journalist Nick Monroe. He helped me out a ton with this video. He found a file that I could not find that had all the images of the white boxing and all that. And if it wasn't for him, that part of this video would not be here. Please go down to the description, go to his Twitter page, subscribe to him, follow him, whatever you do on Twitter again. But he helped me out with this, and I thank him immensely.